This is up Trail 71, and I'm back at the Porcupine Mountains for another fall trip. Came here last year, did about maybe a 20-mile loop, stayed at Mirror Lake. We'll be doing basically the same loop, but be going in the opposite direction. And this time I got a friend with. It'll be his first time backpacking. That's Kyle. I will be starting at the Lake of Clouds, taking the escarpment trail about 4.3 miles to the Government Peak trailhead, near the Government Peak trailhead. And then to the Government Peak is where we'll be camping at tonight. Along the way we'll be going along Trap Falls, and that's beautiful. Well, we stopped at the Lake of the Clouds overlook, and there was a lot of people there. So I didn't shoot very much video. And now we're already starting to come up to a sign. Should be a junction. Escarpment trails will be remaining on. Government Peak Trail is 4 miles from here. And of course if I went to the right down this hill, it would be going to the North Mirror Lake Trail. We'll be coming back up that. And for this trip, Kyle will be using one of my older packs I won from a giveaway. It's a Gregory. You see he's hiking in jeans, but it's a cooler day. They're predicting a high temperature to be about 44 today. And of course in the higher elevations it could be a little cooler, because Lake Superior level is at 603 feet. And we'll be camping on Government Peak. That's 1,850 feet. And they're predicting a slight chance of rain. We felt a few little rain showers so far, not very much. And here we're coming up to our first view. The first good view. See Lake of Clouds down there. And talking about weather. Look off to the southwest. Looks like it's raining, so hopefully it don't come this way. And now we're coming up to some of the best views in the entire park. This is beautiful in the fall. Well, Kyle, you ready for our next climb? That mountain right there?
Oh yeah.
Now we've arrived on the other end of Lake of Clouds. And this is a cool little trail coming up, and we get some awesome views very soon. Oh, this is awesome. Always like it when you can walk up to the ledges like this, steep cliffs. Yeah, it looks like our weather's coming now. Feeling like a rain-sleet mix. The high is almost 40 degrees. Tonight it's getting down to about 32. Well, guess what now? We have snow. Throwing all the weather to us today in one shot. We've had wind, rain, sleet. Now of course we love snow in the fall. Now we'll come up to this junction. This trail goes back down to the highway. And of course we'll continue on the Government Peak Trail for 2 more miles. But first, we're going to take a walk down in here because there's an old mine site. A few old artifacts you will be able to see. And this is the old mine site. You still see where the mine went into the hill right there, and it's collapsed since then. Of course, this is from the 1800s, 1880, somewhere around there. And there's one of the old wheels from one of the mining carts. That's kind of cool. Now here's some old debris right here. First I thought it was an old stove, but some heavy steel right there. I wonder if that was part of one of the mining cars. Possible, hard to say. I got another angle right here. Now we're back on a trail after checking out that old mine site area. And of course you get to start out with a good little climb. But we're going to get some more awesome views. Now we just come out of the woods to next overlook area. You can see Lake of Clouds off in distance. And that should be Government Peak right up there. Right in front. And a big Carp River running down there. And there's an awesome campsite right up in those pine trees right there. They get some of the best views anywhere for sunrise and sunsets. We're going to continue on for a little further and we'll take a break at the next opening. This is a nice spot. We still have almost 7 miles to go to our campsite. Now I'm not getting a lot for fall colors. Getting some really nice ones, but the fall season actually peaked a little early this year. I think it's right at the end of September, which is very rare. I think I've only seen that maybe once or twice. Usually it's the middle of October. See somewhere on October 10th and maybe up to the 20th for a peak season. And of course the wind and rain from a storm we had a few days ago blew a lot of the leaves off already. Well, we're starting to go downhill now. We'll get one more view at this one spot. I think we're going to skip having lunch right here and we'll wait until we get to the bridge for the Big Carp River. That'll be a nice spot. Oh yeah, getting a good view of Lake Superior from right here. And from here you can see the old mill way back there. And there just off to your left, we got this old mining area from 1856. You can see where it was dug out down here. Like I say, I'm not sure if that was actually dug out like this or if it caved in like that. I know you can see it was mined up this hill also. Alright, now we'll be making a right turn at this junction. Let's see, start at the Lake of Clouds. This is where we are now. Government Peak Trail parking lot is right there. We'll be taking the Government Peak Trail. Well, the good news is the sun has come out. Bad news is we're in a dark hemlock forest right now. So hopefully, get up in the opening. It'd be nice to have some sunlight on these leaves. There's still quite a few green leaves on the trees, at least in this part. That's the Big Carp River. This flows into the Lake of Clouds.
Yeah.
Right over in that direction. Yeah, might as well stop here for lunch. Drop your pack. Well, that was a quick little late lunch. Had a beef stick, cheese. Just had some like little mince, little peanut butter cup. Of course, it's a very late lunch for us. It's right around, I think, after 4 o'clock. It'll get dark by 6:30. I think we have about a little over 4 miles to go yet to the campsite. Maybe about 4.5 miles. So yeah, very good chance this will be another night hike for me. Seems to be a trend lately. Right here is one of the campsites along the river. It should be the Big Carp River. Same river that goes underneath that bridge that we just ate our lunch on. There's GP1. That campsite's right down there. Each of the 63 campsites in this park has a bear pole like this one. You can see someone has their food hanging up right now. Here we're starting to get some of our first views of the river. You'll see some of the rapids. And you'll see a lot more coming up soon. Oh, this is one of the cool areas with this gorge carved through the rock. See the river down there, and the rapids, and the trail runs right along it for at least a mile. And this will be the first of many small waterfalls and rapids, and wait to see the beautiful trap falls when we get there. Okay, we just come up to a junction. Trap Falls, we're almost there, 0.3 miles. Government Peak, 3.2 miles. There's still a chance we could possibly make it before dark. What do you think? 50-50?
50-50.
Okay. And then if you cross over here, you'll go to Union Springs. So for them, they would have to do this little stream crossing, and the trail will continue on right over there See a blue blaze on a tree. A little stream crossing for you. And then as soon as you cross the stream, go over that little hill, we'll get to see trap falls. That was a nice short break, about 10 minutes long at the waterfall. Now we have about 2.9 miles yet to get to the campsite. Another little stream crossing right here. And we're running right along the stream yet, the Big Carp River. There should be one more very nice area that I'll film before we turn off and start heading towards the Government's Peak. Alright, made it to the junction again. Lost Lake is a mile and a half in that direction. We'll be continuing on this Government Peak trail. 1.9 miles. It's a Government Peak. So will we make it before dark? Maybe. As I'm walking this Government Peak trail, I noticed this tree, and you can see the moss growing on it. You see the green moss? Then you go on the other side, there's very little to none. So the majority of the time, the moss will grow on the north side of a tree. So if you're ever lost in the woods, that's always another possibility to help you find your way out. We made it up to that pond area, close to Government Peak, and a small stream that runs through here. Just good enough for filtering water. And right out there is the beaver pond. It's a decent size. And we've almost made it to the top of Government Peak. You can see some of the rock ledges right there. And the trail continues up here. That's really cool. There we are. That's GP4. And see Government Peak, elevation 1,850 feet. This was an old cabin here one time. Oh yeah. See the foundation. Bear poles right there. Our campsite will be right down here, GP5. Well, what did you think of your first backpacking hike?
10 miles is good enough for a first day.
Yeah, I believe it's almost 10 miles. And we got some views from up here. Maybe hard to tell with the camera, but it's a long ways up. And then we have a fire ring right behind me. And just in front of me, looks like we got some possible areas to hang a hammock. Of course, there should be a few areas around here. And I believe there's a latrine somewhere, but I don't know where they put it. First we decided to build a nice little fire because it's cool out. Well, the high I saw so far today was about 40. You see, we're starting to set up what Kyle will be using tonight. That's my Daring Dream hammock, and I'll be using a Dutchware half-wit hammock tonight. It's a good little snowstorm we're getting. You can see it coming down. And you see Kyle's helping set up his hammock a little bit around there. I may have to show him how I do it, because I have a little bit of a trick for setting up the stakes, but I'll let him try. Well, you can see a little bit of snow actually adding up on the ground. And look at your tarp ones. Yeah. It's starting. Most of the snow rolls off of it. Up we're cooking. We're heating up our water right as grate. It's working very good. He's already rehydrating his chicken fried rice. How do you like that?
I buy it again.
That was his cook pot. And right over there, I'm going to have a lasagna meal. Yeah, it's a mountain house, but yeah, they're okay. Well, for the most part, I have my hammock all set up for tonight. My half-weight hammock. This is going to be a summer underquilt, about 55 degree rating. Yeah, it's going to get down to about 32, 33 tonight. But I do have a 20 degree top quilt, and I do have a summer top quilt to stick underneath me. So that should be good for the night. So I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everyone. Overall, I slept good last night. Felt a couple of cool spots. You have to remember I was using my 55 degree summer quilt. It got down to 30 last night. That's what I saw on the thermometer. And Kyle, I guess he slept overall good. Feet got a little cold, he said. But he had plenty of warm quilts. And right now, of course we're just getting up. I'm going to get our food off the bear pole. Alright, heating up some water, the alcohol stove, and I'll also keep the windscreen around it. Even if there's no wind, it helps trap heat. And it'll warm up actually a little quicker. My little quick snack, strawberries and cream oatmeal. Then I'm going to have scrambled eggs. And which one? You can have scrambled eggs also. Nothing better than eating breakfast in a nice cold snow. Oh, we just finished up our breakfast. Now we start breaking down our hammocks. And soon we'll be getting on a trail in this nice snowy day. Now we have almost everything all packed up. We're just about ready to get back on a trail. Leaving Government Peak is steep right here, and this trail is very slippery. But once we get down about maybe 100 feet, it'll start to flatten out and be a lot better. But we'll be going downhill steady for a long ways until we get to the Lake of Clouds. There's a little mud on this trail. Not real bad. Oh, what's so funny? That's where my foot just went. That mud was covered with leaves, and that's my shoe. The woodpecker. Oh, look at this cool mushroom growing on this log. I have no idea what it really is. Wow, this hill was slippery. Got rocks, mud, and of course these wet leaves. Now as we get further down this Government Peak, small mountain you can call it, there's no snow in this area. You noticed it was snowing good last night up there. Of course some of it may have melted. Now we're coming up to a stream at the bottom of Government Peak after we did our slippery hike I just talked about. And right over there I think is where we're going to filter some water for actually a first time on this trip. That wasn't too bad. Now we have about a mile to the North Mirror Lake Trail, and then we'll be heading up north, and it'll be for about maybe 3 miles, and then we'll be back at a parking lot. So that's not too bad. We have about maybe 4 miles left. There, we made it to the junction. Of course, this is always a muddy spot. This old birch tree has some chug on it. Looks like someone's picked most of it off already, cut most of it. Now we're just passing by one of the campsites. And they're very nice people. We talked to them for a few minutes. Kyle had a nice little slip and fall in one of the muddy areas. I helped him up. He didn't get too muddy though. Yeah, a little bit of mud on your jeans, not too bad though.
Just a little bit.
This is always one of my favorite areas with these tiers of waterfalls. And it's carved out in this like canyon. Really neat area. Well, it was my turn to fall. That was extremely wet right there. As you see, we're going through plenty of mud yet. I did fall down again. Got a little mud on the screen of this camera, but I wiped it off. Right now we're passing by some campsites along Lake of the Clouds. That's one of them right there. And then there's 3 others further back. Now I'll be crossing the bridge. This is the Big Carp River. And right up there on the escarpment, that cliff, that's where our viewing area was, where we were yesterday morning. Escarpment trail, a 1/4 mile up this hill. And the parking lot's going to be a 1/2 mile. Oh, we actually sat on a bench for a few minutes. Must be about the halfway point of this very steep hill climb. And we have just about made it to the junction. Well, our trip is almost done. We're about a 1/4 mile away from the parking lot. We've now arrived back at the parking lot. This was a fun 2-day, 1-night trip. A little cold. What do you think? Is it a little cold, Kyle?
In the morning.
In the morning, yeah. Kind of cool to see the snow at night for October 3rd, 4th. So, we'll see you in the next adventure. Thanks for watching. Up Trail 71.